Welcome back, ladies and gents. Sorry, I had a bit of a delay there, but we are ready to go pretty much into the next map. We have Mirage between FaZe and NiP and Mr. Janko. What are your thoughts going into this one? We saw NiP lose closely after losing both pistol rounds on cash.
Well, we were talking about how FaZe has certain win conditions they have to fulfill to best NiP here, and they managed to do it on cash. Same story applies for Mirage, right? It's maybe a map that suits them even more, in a sense, as we said that NiP historically didn't play it that much, and cash is NiP's best map at the moment. So if they manage to beat them there, should be slightly easier for them to do it on Mirage, but they have to repeat the performance from cash. If they, drop down a little bit, NiP can still bounce back and take it to Dust 2, which is our third map.
And the interesting thing too is that we actually have FaZe starting off on the CT side, and NiP with the glorious T side start, and that's actually what didn't work out for them too well, conversely to what you would expect, because they didn't win that pistol round. Let's see if FaZe can do it again.
So Forest is a P250 raid boss. I was wondering why Friberg only has a flashbang and no Kevlar. I guess he may have put smoke somewhere as well, but it seems a P250's been dropped to Forest. P250 has almost double the headshot range of a Glock, so I do like to see the P250s coming out. Has a better headshot range than a Tech 9 as well on the pistol round. So I think it's roughly 500 units compared to roughly 800 units, but roughly 1575 units is the range of the USP, which Rain will use to take down Forest. So there goes the P250. Get right is in the CPL position, but he's got many people in his position. I think he jumped out with was that a burst fire? I think it might have been. Either way, the bomb is rotating over towards the A bomb site with two players in control of Connector, but there's no one to cover Xizt back. He's going to get taken down, and now Get Right is stuck. Second frag for him, taking Vox down, but Rain is waiting for him. Not much HP for Get Right, but maybe he's done his job. kioShiMa gets taken down over towards the A bomb site, leaving Rain and jkaem alone on the CT side. Again, the range advantage coming in there, taking Pit down, leaving Friberg alone versus two. He's got 35 seconds to find these two players. Still stuck on a Glock, and he will be put out of his misery by Rain.
An ace for Rain in the pistol round.
I didn't even see that.
I think that is an excellent start to the game for FaZe, and especially Rain. And as we talked about it, it's what FaZe needs. They need their individual players to be on point, to step up, because they can't really match NiP on a team play basis, so to speak. And we see that NiP decides to go for a force buy without any grenades.
Interesting. NiP on the force buy. Not something you see every day, and that is not a great start there. No escape for Pit from the HE, but there will be trades, and now it is advantage NiP. No grenades, and NiP on a force buy with no grenades is one of the more bizarre things. That said, it's a 4 versus 3. They haven't picked up any of these guns which have been dropped by aizy and Fox just yet. Obviously, one of them is in the CPL window, so that might be a bit hard to retrieve, especially with no smokes to cover any of the angles. Forest is going to be holding top mid. You have to wonder if the CT side will be weary of the T's being in mid, trying to get to those weapons. NiP just taking their time now, going for a very gentle garden stroll. kioShiMa, was it kioShiMa we saw with the Mag 7 in that position yesterday? I can't remember, it doesn't really matter right now. NiP spread all over spawn. I mean, Friberg's the one holding the angle, but if he gets spotted there by kioShiMa, he's the one carrying the bomb, which is all the information FaZe will need, especially with about 40 seconds on the clock here. FaZe still with one of their 3 players in B at present, and kioShiMa doesn't even have the range to go for these engagements because these players all have Kevlar. No helmets though. Xizt going to get taken down straight in the face. Friberg has a helmet, the other two don't. Meat shots coming in, and it is Friberg and Get Right to take kioShiMa down. The P90 though could put a stop to this. Friberg with the Mag 7, but there's a crossfire, so it might be hard for the bomb to go down here. NiP did great damage on that force buy, but no plants, and FaZe survived with 2 players. What do you think of that force buy?
I think it's interesting that they didn't get any nades, but NiP actually force buys a lot if they don't get the plant in the pistol round, and they had a good idea. Players from mid to draw the attention and players from underpass to get the kills, but after they got the man advantage, it was really they decided to go for the A bomb side and they just couldn't get the trade kills. A bit lucky for jkaem to survive with 4 HP there with that P90. If he goes down there, it's a whole different story
And a quick point on the force buys as well. And I remember having a conversation with Thread about it when they played Astralis last in the ECS, and they went for like against Astralis they tend not to force buy generally, just due to the fact that they respect Astralis's ability to actually not lose nearly as many situations and not play as suboptimally, so they can get opportunities with those pistols. And I guess so in that sense, maybe it does depend on the team that they're playing, and maybe that says something about how NiP views FaZe. A less structured team. And jkaem in this round is going to be going for a bit of a push, so some good info past the smoke as well. And this is information that NiP don't know FaZe have right now.
Great informational play from FaZe early on, but NiP pushes short and gets the kill on range.
Yeah, and that's a lot of map control for the T's in this situation. Fox, if he was half a second earlier, then he probably would have missed a shot, so never mind. There's a man advantage for the T's, which they will continue to enjoy. Get right in a very deep position now with 9 HP. Connector in control. I mean, this is really hard for FaZe. There's almost nowhere they can really hold on the A site, and that's forced aizy to push slope. And we still have, I think it's kioShiMa around the jungle area, trying to figure out what's safe and what's not safe. aizy will he get the first shot moving into the smoke. He will get traded by pyth, but they've seen the bomb, which means a rotation for the CTs. kioShiMa taking back control of connector, but there are still 3 more to find.
Yeah, pyth's there with that AK-47. He's going to get the entry there for NiP, and the smoke will go down. But the get right's really low, as well as pyth. So this could be problematic, because that P90 is going to be super powerful, even at range, due to that very low HP situation. jkaem with the running gun. Oh, he finds the very healthy player. Forrest running around in slope. He's going to get picked off. That's a really big deal right now. But get right on this flank could be a play to rejuvenate NiP in this round. Give them an opportunity against a very strong jkaem, who needs to find a way in still. That nade, wow, Get Right is very far back. He won't actually be caught by anything like that. And pyth with the angle, as jkaem has no idea where the 2 remaining players are. And NiP will scrape a victory out of that round, but it was a close one.
You can see the awareness NiP has of what they're going for, right? They're aware they have no map control towards A or in B apps, but they don't just linger around, allowing their opponents to gain ground. They go for a quick push towards Cat, get the entry kill, again, get control of the ladder room and of window room, and after that, again, it's up to them to decide what they want to do with it. They turn back to the A-bomb site. This time they get the trade kills and manage to secure the round.
Nice, doing massive damage over there towards the B-bomb site, and NiP will take that damage and have narrow spots. They will move away for the most part. Got players moving into a lower tunnel now, so it seems that mid will get taken over by the T's here. No CT in ladder room on this particular round. kioShiMa again on a mag 7, this time closer to connector rather than the slope. It is a viable position as well, can avoid a lot of flashbangs there. And he may even be able to get more than 1 kill, though he's moved on for the time being. So a minute on the clock for NiP to play with. Still a few grenades on the T side, loads of counter flashes on the CT side for now, and CPO gets smoked off again. You can see Fox holding an angle. Now he needs to be paranoid about boosts as well. Doesn't make life easier for the T's if they wanted to move up short. aizy's not holding the angle for the time being, but kioShiMa is going for a bit of shoulder picking. Misses the players though, who might actually be moving into the boost.
Yeah, so here comes the push into connector. Seems like they may have been trying to fake the boost up in, and it's going to be Friberg and Xizt to get the 2 entries, and it looks like it's all going NiP's way in that sense. They have the A-bomb side. It's going to be a retake for FaZe if they choose to go for it. And they do have kits. They've got armor. They have decent health. They have some flashbangs. So definitely some tools to work with into this retake situation. And we've got jkaem going into position on CT. The smoke goes down at the perfect time here to delay jkaem. He should jump up on the box. You should expect to see that, but NiP should likely expect that as well. But there is a very big distraction. That's going to allow jkaem to get up onto the toll booth without any trouble and go over the top here. pyth able to find the frag on both players. Really great save there from pyth, and that's going to be the round there for NiP as FaZe now run out of monies.
Could have been dangerous for NiP there after getting that initial damage dealt to them. As we saw, it was 160 damage from jkaem with that nade. But they decide to turn away from the B-bomb site, and with a bit more methodical play towards the A-bomb site, again, they managed to isolate the FaZe players and get entrance into the bomb site and play a pretty straightforward after plan situation.
Well, we've got many NiP players moving over towards the B bomb site. It does not look like a play towards underpass on this occasion. aizy gets picked off coming through to connector, and now NiP are charging the bomb site. This isn't eco here for the CTs, but Jacob's going to get a free kill onto Pit. Traded by Xizt though. So far, so good for the NiP side. That said, Forest goes down to the USP of Fox. That HG is going to be perfectly placed, leaving it a 3 versus 1. Window getting smoked off, giving kioShiMa limited options. Has a 1 versus 1 waiting to happen though, but Get Right's crossed the angle. kioShiMa looks the wrong way at the wrong time, and that will be the end of the round. So NiP tying things up here, 3-3. FaZe will be back on the bye, but their money is in trouble.
No up on FaZe, but they have a decent amount of utility. We'll see if they again stick to their default setup, where they're focusing a lot on mid and fighting for mid control, or maybe they're going to push aggressively or go for some sort of a gamble play.
Well, looks like the mid hold is real. Nice jump from Rain, able to pick up the first kill on Friberg. And we see a reaction here from NiP. We got Pit there by connected, looking for the aim battles, and he's going to lose out to aizy. So this is a terrible start. Gerai's very low as well. Forest, he really has to do something in this position. He needs to create some opportunity for his team, force some rotation with a frag. But he is playing it patiently. There is time, and jkaem is lurking around the corner. So Forest is at risk, and it's going to be a bit of a guessing game and a bit of a timing game between the two players, jkaem and Forest. But jkaem seems to be in good stead here. And he's going to actually go all the way around, and Forest actually finds the kill on him. So that's a really big deal, but oh, wow, there it is. The Rain just turning around from shore, finding that angle onto Forest. And now how does Get Right get onto the site? How does he do it? He's on such low HP. He's got the bomb. They're starting to run out of time as well. Xizt will try to open things up. He gets shut down. And this is just a very strong round one, like all the 1 versus 1s cleaned up here by FaZe.
Exactly. I was saying how, whether FaZe will go for some early aggression. Rain goes for just that, making the jump from window room to short, getting the entry kill, and from that NiP was going for a more fast-paced play, but pyth doesn't manage to get the kill on aizy, and after that NiP has too big of a disadvantage to recover from.
Right then, see Forest jumping onto the flower pot on slope. Problem is though, a lot of the time when you come off that, you make an audible sound. So if someone's playing close, they'll know that you're there. You've got people playing close to the smoke on either side here, but I think Rain, if he holds the angle, will have the advantage, but he's moving back into the lad room as Pit comes in. We see a flash for Pit in this position. Okay, we see Rain come in, bit of a pot shot there, but he has no idea that Pit is so close, and Pit will move into the ladder room. We have passive positions being held around the CPL area. aizy taking Friberg down as he charges in, and here comes the rest of the push here from NiP. Trades for both sides, and it's the CTs winning them at the moment with man advantage, and Xizt down to 7 HP here. The bomb's on the floor as well, with 1 minute on the clock.
Yeah, FaZe are playing so well right now on these defenses. They're giving up space to NiP, but at the same time realizing how they're supposed to adapt to the space that they're giving up to NiP. Because NiP, they're hard to stop. We can see the tactical prowess and how they're able to build into some of these positions, let's say in mid, when they get mid control, how they build into short or connector. But even still, when they get those positions, FaZe are still adopting a nice setup and hitting their shots, and that seems to be enough so far. Xizt is in an impossible situation with 7 HP. The bomb is down in the middle of the site, so this round should surely be lost. But where is the way back here for NiP? Because FaZe seem to be outplaying them, and they seem to have their number. And we haven't even seen the ult really out for FaZe that much yet. That said, Xizt will get a cheeky frag there, but that's going to be it.
I think the problem with that execute, and we see it from time to time, is you need to have someone in A apps, right? Because that's the player who trades with the CTs playing defensively behind the firebox or at the default plant position, or even from Shadow. He can throw a Molotov towards Shadow and flush that player out as well. Because if you're only coming in from connector and ramp, well, then those two players have the positional advantage, right? They can peek left and right, they can hide as well and buy time for their teammates to rotate, and it's in the end what caused NiP to lose this round.
NiP on Eco now, Xizt, with the only man with the AK from the previous round, and he will try to lead the charge here. Nice bit of a read onto kioShiMa coming out there, and we're going to get some openings onto the A site here. The bomb's going down very quickly, and GetRight should complete it before those flames come in. He will get taken down by Rain, however, though. This is still alive, just about 4 HP, still holding on to that AK. Forest is alive, but doesn't have any Kevlar or a rifle to work with. Xizt can use the triple boxes down, take out Rain while he's expecting a flank. 2 men down, leaving jkaem alone versus Forest. Forest is around the box as well, but jkaem seems to have a read on it, and Forest may not survive the spray here, down to 4 HP, and Aran will just about get rescued by FaZe. Or will it?
How did Xizt get those 2 kills? Like, what was going on with those? The one player just like kind of looking into the wall at stairs?
He was low HP, so it was a bit of a miscommunication. Or if you're thinking Rain, who was at stairs, he was maybe expecting a flash. I mean, he turned to check connector, and that was the unlucky timing for him.
Right.
Xizt gets the kill in the back, and then I think it was kioShiMa, I'm not sure, who was low HP next to him. So a good round for NiP, all things considered, and they managed to look at the money on FaZe now. Instead of having a clean anti-eco round, they lose 4 players, and if NiP wins this round, that puts FaZe on an eco or a force buy with pistols. So this is where NiP gets the edge over other teams, right? In a reverse scenario, NiP probably would play it much safer, much more disciplined. They wouldn't lose that many players, and in turn, even if they lost now the gun round, well, then they probably would have had still enough money to buy in the next round, and you would still be pressured to win consecutive rounds. And that is a big deal. When it comes between these tier 1 teams, there's always, you know, there are a lot of close games, and it's the small things that make the difference in the end.
All the edges you can get. Now, 6-3 indeed. Can FaZe hold on to the lead, or will we get that change of momentum if NiP are able to have a successful round? Again, we get that mid-challenge from FaZe. They seem very adamant in taking this. 3 players spotted by aizy, but no frag there. Very easily could have seen in many situations where aizy gets 1 or 2 headshots, but nothing this time. Just a bit of damage to Friberg.
So we've got the push up top mid now from NiP. No one down for either side just yet. NiP looking to punish any peaks there. Very nice angles being held by GetRight while the smoke is thrown. Very good, solid team play by NiP, but they are 3 rounds down versus FaZe at present. With the nades flying in as well. aizy trying to get into position. Sometimes you can have a little bit of a gap on one of the sides of that, and I think he was just looking for said gap, although he can try and take plays by surprise. He's got an angle to stop people moving into connector. 2 frags for aizy. There's one more to find towards ladder room. Pit will trade.
Yeah, aizy's been having a great series so far. That is 2 incredibly key frags. NiP thought it was safe, they were wrong, and now it's just Forest who's left with the bomb to try to save the day. He's got 40 seconds, and he could very well do some damage here, but this nade to CT is absolutely going to initially make FaZe think, hang on, is he going towards A? That's the immediate effect. But Rain is in mid though, and they got jkaem covering defensively a very nice off angle towards BF. So Forest basically has almost no way to get a favorable in 1 versus 1 in that situation. So very well played by FaZe right at the end to close it down. And that round, I mean, they made up a little bit for the previous round where they didn't win it clean. They survived with 4 players.
Definitely, and again, it's a player stepping up, this time aizy. I think he was flashed, he was flashed in by someone from the A bomb site. I'm not 100% sure, but completely dismantles NiP's take by eliminating the mid players.
Friberg narrowly avoids getting naded into oblivion there. We have a lot of flashbangs here for the NiP side. It might be brute force over towards the bomb site. jkaem's going to get blinded, and he's moved into a very strong position. Rain and Fox coming in for cover. Make that aizy as well. jkaem finally gets a frag onto the board. Very nice snap on to GetRight as well. That reminds me of the way Xizt plays on the B bomb site for Na'Vi. When there's a big aggression coming in, he'll go underneath the window and allow his teammates from shop, etc. to have the initial engagement, and then he'll clean up anybody who's left coming out, basically allowing his teammates to run distraction, so helps everybody survive a little bit longer. 5-round lead for FaZe now.
Yeah, Rain, aizy, jkaem having a really good game in Mirage, and we've got Fox on the left side of the window. That small mix-up. Let's see what the result is. So it's quite nice to see that FaZe this round are playing mid a lot more passively after really challenging it, conditioning NiP to be a little bit afraid. But that said, Xizt finds a tiny gap through the smoke, gets a frag there onto connector, and finally, FaZe are actually on the back foot again. It's been a while, I think, since we saw that at the start of one of these rounds, and Xizt is going to take forward position. And again, it's been a while since NiP were able to get these forward positions without really losing something for it. Okay, never mind, Fox is going to nail Xizt in the face.
I was just going to say, have you seen Fox have any impact so far, pretty much in the half? Nothing against Fox, but it's more to make a point that the op is probably on Mirage more than any other map can be neutralized by a lot of smokes, flashes, as now we see some action coming his way.
But as you say, the smokes and the flashes, so he's not really any visibility for him to work with. And that will allow NiP back into the bomb site. But it's nice that they were able to equalize the numbers. FaZe have a good shot here at going for the retake. In fact, they're going to pick off Pit before the bomb can be planted. So now Garrett's going to go and plant that to try to and go for connector, but it's not safe. Friberg wasn't able to cover that. And so this is kind of falling to pieces here for NiP.
2 versus 3 though, so the FaZe numbers are a bit fragile at the moment, and they're all coming from the same spot. Although Forrest gets taken down with no response, finally Friberg will trade. Doesn't realise where all the CTs are, but he gets himself a second 1 versus 1. Now it's Fox with the AWP, who is running. Friberg comes in for the wide peek while Fox tries to fake the bomb defuse. And that's going to be a solid 1 versus 3 by Friberg. 3 1v1s. Very nicely done.
Beautiful quad kill from Friberg. He's doubled his score now to 8. So really impactful frags in that round.
Obviously a huge round from Friberg, but as you said, James, he got 3 1v1s, which is something you don't want to give him if you're on the CT side in that particular case. But just now to use this to talk about what I mentioned earlier, I feel that it's really hard for oppers to be impactful on Mirage late if they're playing mid, right? Because most of the times you just get smoked off, Molotov, you only go for blind shots through the smoke, then it's basically based on luck. Only how you can be useful, but by maybe pushing A apps or B apps, surprising your opponents, but mostly we just see players getting smoked off. The CTs lose control of the bomb site, and it's hard to play retake with an opper unless he's just going to hold an angle while your rifles do all the work. But if they don't get the work done, well, the opper just has to save at that point. I think it's something we're seeing more and more on Mirage. The only thing that makes it easier to be useful with the op is if the Ts have weak buys, right? If they don't have a lot of smokes, Molotovs, flashes, whatever, to try and neutralize you and have to go out dry, and then the op can be really powerful, holding maybe that angle from jungle towards the A bomb site if they're running out from ramp or something similar to that.
It's an interesting point as well, because it has been much more common in the metagame for quite some time now that we see Molotovs used.
Please change player. This is giving me.
Molotovs used at the base of the stairs into connector, and that's because again, it's so you can smoke off either catwalk or you can smoke off CP or the window from T spawn. That connector then becomes the spot to pick from. But now everyone Molotovs it. So where do you really go? There's not really that many spots to be impactful from in that early round.
We see Guardian jumping out of window to try to get that early pick, but then he doesn't find anything. He has to run through connector, and the Molotov is already blooming, so he loses 50, 60 HP doing that. I mean, there's also the psychological aspect of having an op. It forces your opponents to play in a different way. So there are more values to having an op in the map than simply than simply getting kills, right? Because if the Ts know that there's not an op on the CT side, they don't have to use as many resources maybe to get mid control and so forth. So maybe a talking point, but not to be taken exclusively as a fact. Ops can still be useful on CT side Mirage.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't get me wrong.
It's definitely a good observation though, because it actually has a reputation to generally be so incredibly versatile, because you can always play it towards mid A or B from any spawn from both sides, CT and T side. So there has in the past been a lot of emphasis. So it is actually a very important talking point, especially as we move into more strategical Counter-Strike.
I say this, and probably one of the best teams in the world on Mirage is Luminosity, who goes for a double op setup on CT side. So,
of course.
So yes.
Yeah,
but you have to think about their opponents as well. like who they're playing against and the styles that they use, because there are a lot of teams. You know, how many teams use the smokes as much as Luminosity or NiP and so on.
True, fair enough.
Yeah, different strokes, different folks.
What are you going to say, James? You're about to say something, and then
No, I was just wondering. I think obviously you have some anomalies like Luminosity, but those teams aside, I do wonder how that will continue to develop over time, and how, I mean, they were like Virtus Pro maybe a year ago would, in some rounds or many rounds on their CT side, just not put anybody in CPL at all. They kind of leave mid open and just leave people standing around in mid waiting for a pick which they wouldn't be provided, and then they'd just get crushed when Virtus Pro felt like it. So that kind of disappeared. But I do wonder, with what you said with Diop, I mean, it can be difficult to hold it even on CT. I mean, there's lots of positions where you get smoked off and then you're basically useless for a good 20 seconds if you try to rotate somewhere else. So, but there's a lot more versatility to be had, which we see from Dignitas on the T side. They don't pick up the AWP. I mean, maybe that changes with cajunB on the team now, but I am interested into how that will develop on the CT side in the next 6 months.
I think that people right now are just the players are trying to find ways to be useful by playing mid with an op, whether it's Kenny jumping from window to short to get an initial pick, or jumping towards mid, or I'm not really sure what else, but you can be more creative with your position. You can have the upper mid initially, and if he's being smoked off, well, then he can rotate towards the B bomb side. You can have a rifler going B initially if in case of a B rush, because he doesn't need to look at cat if there's no smokes and the opera is holding mid, right? There's no one coming that way, obviously. So if there's no B rush and the opera gets smoked off, then they can just swap places, and you can maybe even go for a more aggressive play towards B apps with the opera holding an angle and the rifler pushing to get forward positioning, and at that point you can leave him alone there, and then you can further rotate. And another really strong setup is if the T's are going for a B split, if you have an opera towards that bench position, it's really hard to push towards the B bomb side from cat. And then you have the rifler somewhere in B apps, again in a forward position, probably going to get one kill at least before he gets traded. Even the opera can bait for him before he makes first contact. There are a lot of things you can do to catch your opponents off guard, and I feel that it's still being underused to an extent. We still see teams mostly and players trying to force their way to be useful on mid, even with most of the utility from the terrorists going exactly that way. I
do like the kind of the stylistic change that it kind of forces in some senses, because teams are getting so good at using utility on mid now these days. For a long time it was a lot of teams were kind of bad at coordinating how to use the smokes,
missing smokes with gaps. You would be amazed how many teams and players actually would miss a smoke or the smoke. It's even worse to throw a smoke with a gap than it is to miss it, because you see the smoke and you think you're covered, then you go out and you get wrecked.
Yeah, absolutely. But now these days, because it's so powerful, teams are kind of nailing it quite well with all the nades. It becomes to this extent that you can't kind of just sit behind them, because then you just get isolated. You're just not really reacting to what the team's doing properly. So then you see teams actually going for a challenge in front of the smokes, which you kind of see, let's say, another good example is on Train, when teams would be initially quite afraid of how to deal with the set pieces that we would first see when that map came out, where you just carpet everything, you get a free bomb plant, and then you just set up there. And then we started to see forward positions from the CTs. So it's quite fun to see that mid battle. But we're back into this now, and NiP 4 rounds down. FaZe having a really good first half, to be honest, and we're going to have Get going. Contact straight out here, looking for the entry, playing that entry fragging role, and he's going to get it onto kio as well. So really good situation opening up here for NiP, but can they carry it forward to the bomb plant and the close?
CT's moving over towards the CT position now, and aizy maybe going for the knife there, but Fox will take the frag first, and this is what I'm talking about. Pitts, I think he's going to go and push his way through the smoke, but in fact, he is going to just try and creep it. And there we go, Fox gets taken down, and Rain is still alive for the time being. Pitt going for a desperate reload, but he finds it, and Rain can't get around the corner fast enough. So it's jkaem versus 4. Bit of a dire situation for FaZe at the moment. But NiP will continue to catch up, and indeed they will. And that's just a quick reference going back to Mirage, going back to Cash, excuse me, when we saw the T's put a smoke close to the site behind red box. We see Pitts flashing his way through the smoke there, which is obviously a problem on Cash as well. But there we go, 5-8, NiP starting to catch up now. FaZe money broken.
I mean, we talk about how NiP is more disciplined and everything, and now you see them get right again in his role of the entry fragger in this these set executes. I think, you know, and he, after getting the initial kill, he wants to flash himself through the smoke, and maybe someone's thinking right now, well, why don't you call him out? That was a reckless play, there's no need to do that. They have the site, and they also have a man advantage. But the thing is, with a bomb site from Mirage, even with a man advantage and a bomb plant, there's still not that many places where you can hide and hold as a T. So basically, you need to push either CT spawn or connector to secure the round. And as we saw, it's okay, Gatorade failed at it, but then pyth managed to do it for the team.
Things getting a bit weird here. Or they were, but the Sunday roast has come a bit early for one of those
when I see
players.
NiP and an anti-eco, I just keep talking.
Yeah.
I consider the round pretty much over at that point. So.
Yeah, well, they managed to get 6 rounds on the board as the T side now. It did look very grim. I like how just out of the massive pause, they just play a super fast contact play. We get right entry fragging into the A side. It's really simple. And now it's another buy from FaZe. Can they do this one here? We've got the aggressive mid push, which is great to see. And there is one of the mollies I was talking about to deny early aggression from the AWP if there is one, or even Rifler just peeking down the stairs. But instead, it's going to be a trade 1-for-1 here. Pit at top mid with Xizt trying to maintain control of this situation, using a lot of utility there, but there's still a good chunk left to finish onto this A bomb site, and the players from top mid now cycling back towards A slope, and the bomb will be joining them as well. And here it is, the set piece into the A bomb site. FaZe though, they have no idea. They're kind of playing almost a retake setup at this point. Nobody really directly on the A site itself.
Well, we have an execution indeed. The site has been abandoned. kioShiMa doing what he can, but it's not going to be much with no vision. And look at that, there's a gap in the smoke, Janko. And these players could get absolutely slaughtered for it. Pit waiting for the flash to come in, coming in backwards, but again, that gap will take him down. And that's a smoke which should never have a gap. We'll come to that a bit later on. 2 versus 4 here. NiP in trouble now. The smokes have disappeared. They have half the personnel of FaZe. Now they have a quarter. Forest versus 4 with an AWP, so it's going to be hard for him to get more than one frag. Goes for the higher one, gets taken down by the low. But again, I mean, those are set smokes. All you do is stand still, aim at something, and throw them. They should always go in the right place.
I actually don't think the smoke was missed. I think the smoke hit kioShiMa, who was peeking at that time, and that's why the smoke had a gap. And again, you saw the same thing from NiP. Even if the smoke landed perfectly, pyth was there waiting for a flash to again push through connector. So it's something they're going to go for every time. But it was a bit unfortunate for them that there was a gap, pyth gets picked off, then kioShiMa with a great play.
That makes a lot more sense.
It's actually
rotating from jungle towards CT, gets another kill, and NiP is out of utility at that point, and they just get...
It's actually funny, because if you have a guy on connector and you know that set piece is coming, like an opposing team could just watch the demo now, just have someone standing where kioShiMa was standing.
Yes, but then if you see that happen against you, it only needs to happen once for you to realize, okay, people are anti-stratting us in this way. And once you figure it out, then it plays more to your advantage than to your opponents, because then you can just walk out without using anything. I'll come back to that after the round.
All right.
That means you guys can cast now.
Dan can cast now.
All right, well, here goes aizy. Up catwalk is a quick plant in from FaZe. Now it's going to be the retake situation. Retake on B always a little bit awkward. FaZe doing an excellent job. This is a non-round at this point. Xizt is going to get in a very awkward position in between pretty much the entire team, and he'll go down very quickly. So very simple B rush strategy there from FaZe, and they'll close around with it.
And they've been the 4th pistol round so far in this game.
Oh, you're right.
So again, a pretty strong start for FaZe, it seems. NiP again, on their side, goes for an eco. Friberg on the deagle, and pyth this time around doesn't get armor for himself.
Considering FaZe are 1-0 up at the moment, how significant is this 4th pistol round?
Extremely significant.
Marvelous.
Especially for Obviously, it's always significant, but for FaZe, even more so, because they're a team that's probably going to make, some mistakes, not going to be as coordinated. So them winning pistol and having a strong start gives them more room for those mistakes. Even if they lose the first gun round but get maybe 3 or 4 kills, well, then NiP is on a weak buy again, and they can just utilize their skill at that point more than anything else with a simple execute and use that to their advantage. While on the other hand, if they're the ones forced to play against fully equipped NiP with a weak buy, it's going to be much more difficult for them to win rounds that way.
Well, here comes the removal service, looking to clear out the A bomb site, doing a good job of it so far. Although, that said, they're in a bit of trouble here. kioShiMa down to 5 HP, and well, he's not carrying the bomb, and full life box gets taken down, and that is a question to be answered a bit later on. Get right now with 7 HP versus 2, probably wants to save the AK in this position.
Their team name is FaZe, not Face. I think Fox needs to...
Lost in translation, perhaps.
Revisit that. Yeah, but talking about anti-stratting from before the pistol round, it can be really interesting. I remember when we were playing like our first international tournament in 2013. We were obviously the underdogs, and we were playing against the 3D Max team, which had Guardian, Oscar, PHP. And we played Nuke against them, and what they liked doing on Nuke, the old Nuke, is the ramp player, after throwing a smoke and spamming a little bit, he would just go all the way towards secret as soon as they saw something happening in yard, and they would leave ramp completely. So what we would do, we would just throw smokes, send one player with flashes and everything, we would just walk out ramp all the way towards the inner bomb site. We actually managed to plant the bomb where all 5 cities were still alive. So anti-stratting, once you see some patterns that happen all the time, it can be pretty powerful for you, but
never want to rely on it.
It doesn't happen nowadays as much, right?
Yeah, teams are playing each other too much, I guess.
Exactly, and they're much more versatile. Not many teams take risks like those, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, we've seen in I think some teams in North America are quite good at it, but then you would see that their overall game would actually suffer just generally, even if they would make that one good read or that one good play in a round, the fundamentals would not necessarily be. Or they would be too adjusted to their opponents, have the kind of practice partner syndrome.
Exactly, that's something you want to avoid. The anti-stratting should only be used maybe to see what your opponent's tendencies are, right? If they do have a set execute that can be recognizable but by one smoke or something similar to that, then it's good to know those things and maybe catch their rotations, right? Do they like to be aggressive or passive? Do they over-rotate? Something that you can keep in the back of your head while you're still doing your own thing. That's what you always want to do. You always want to play your own game. And probably at times, I mean, just by playing fundamental Counter-Strike, right, you don't need to do anything fancy. Just react to what's going on in the game and on the map as we go into the first buy round and pyth the one with the op.
Up onto both sides here. Obviously, Fox will be holding one as well. I do expect he will have a bit more success on the T side than they will, maybe suiting his style a bit more. But look at the aggression here from NiP. 2 out of the 3 frags to go their way. Fox answering back though. This is absolutely savage from both sides. Down to 2 versus 2 already. What on earth is going on? There's a minute 30, 3 people alive. Only get right for NiP.
This is a pretty rough situation, but he definitely can get this one done. He's got a very sneaky spot. Oh no, that is a really big frag there, and Garay's going to close it. The element of surprise is pretty strong, and that's going to be the 12-7. So NiP able to battle their way back in this one, but there is enough on FaZe actually for them to force in this situation, because they will realize obviously NiP survived with just one player, so that is going to encourage them.
The smallest of differences. I think FaZe lost maybe 2 players in both rounds, both anti-eco rounds, and now they're scared to force buy. Basically, they have a couple of pistols and armor, but still have 2k in the bank. If they played it a bit safer, it's 2 in both rounds. So if they played it a bit more disciplined, they would have all had 4 AKs and full utility. And NiP has 2 FAMASs. It's not an ideal buy for them either.
So Rain drops a smoke in front of Shadow, but Forrest is coming in from the connector position. Traded, however. There is 1 AK on the FaZe team at the moment. Rain still of the high ground, and he's going to get taken down. No plant either for Fox, so this is falling apart for FaZe. They have spent some money in this round. And if they can't get a plant, then that's going to be a bit of a disaster. Not looking likely now. aizy in the jungle position versus 3. Pyth making lots of noise. And it seems they have no idea where aizy could be. So he's expecting they're not going to hold a line for his position. He'll just walk out and take Pyth down. Now he's got a smoke. He still has a minute on the clock here as well. So there's lots for him to do. He can go up short, as he will. He can go into B through to A or this way, which is probably better, all things considered. But it may be that he chooses to save it. He's got 1 HP. So he's got 1 HP, a 5-round lead. I think he can hold on to the AWP.
He should save because his team is on a bye next round anyway. And he has almost 6k on him. Actually, he has 6k on him and he's only going to get 1900. This is the second round, right? So he's only going to get 1900. So obviously has more in his hands now. And he gets wrecked, of course, as I try to do the math. Yet again.
Indeed.
And they don't have money to buy the ult.
I think that's fine though anyway, because yeah. I mean, we talked about it before. It's like, it's okay.
Yeah, but I think Fox is one guy you want on an AWP on the T side.
That's very true as well.
I think on this particular map, I think he will probably be better on the T side than the CT side, because I would say he's at his best over towards the B side, just simply holding angles with an AWP, like on an Inferno or a Cash, etc. Which you cannot do with that strength on Mirage. But
Rip Inferno.
Indeed. So FaZe moving over towards the A site now, Valurka top mid, and it's not the strongest hold for NiP. It's not an aggressive one, but they can retake with the numbers when the time comes. Nice dig there, top mid.
Yeah, we've got a lot of aggression coming in though at the A bomb site, and there's a nice little smoke which has been placed by FaZe to plant the bomb in, but not nice enough. And that was an easily readable play by Forrest, it would seem, just getting the kill through the smoke, and that's going to cause a bit of delay and a bit of death here. FaZe losing players. Only 2 of them left now, and Fox he was think very early on in this push, and he will not last either. Just jkaem, he will also fall to the might of NiP, it would seem, as FaZe now will concede yet another round and just be back to eco. And NiP are already on the comeback trail now. But how far can they take it? They have so much utility. They are really good on the money. This is the perfect round for NiP to just build some level of security into the future rounds.
Well, there we go. Nice open area for Pyth to have some fun in, to go fishing on this eco round. Goodbye, kioShiMa. Goodbye, jkaem. Goodbye, aizy. Next round. 2 rounds in it now between these 2 teams. Lost bonus building for FaZe. Goodbye coming back out. So definitely all to play for both teams. FaZe will absolutely want to take this match in 2 games, but then who wouldn't? I mean, obviously, that might be a bit Captain Obvious, but we've seen some picks before where people are trying to do it in 3, in fairness. So, FaZe 12-10, and we have a player on underpass here for the CTs with absolutely no support whatsoever. kioShiMa's just run all the way into the A bomb site, taking Friberg down as well. Pyth misses the shot towards A, but gets the one towards Palace. 3 kills in 1 second for NiP. What has happened to FaZe? What has happened?
kioShiMa can answer back though on that mid 20 HP. Really massive initiative taken by kioShiMa on that good spawn into mid. Oh, aizy gets dinged. That's not what FaZe want. They'll get the bomb down at the very least, but only 2 kills in this round. A round which could have gone a lot better, but indeed that player in underpass, as you said, that was a massive counterplay in the end due to the fact that NiP were playing 1 player in CT initially, so kioShiMa could only get that 1 frag, and no one else was exposed. And NiP 1 round away now, and I mean the lost bonus plus the bomb plant will mean another buy straight out the bag, out of the gates. Out of the bag, out of the bag, James.
A buy out of the bag. Well, if your wallet's in your bag,
that's
maybe you can make it work. A buy out of the bag. 1 round between these 2 teams now. FaZe back on the buy again. That lost bonus is just going up and up until it hits a max. Maybe it's there already. I'm not sure what the how many they've lost in a row. Indeed, they've lost 5 in a row, so they are at max lost bonus, which is 3,400, isn't it?
Yes.
Marvelous. Oh, we have the initial smokes coming in. Forrest with a tight angle. That angle is very susceptible 2 flashbangs from top mid, but we may not see any. Indeed we will, and there we go. He's going to get taken down completely blind. If he was on the other side, he would have had a better time of things, but obviously he's holding an angle for the underpass. Has not worked out for NiP early. Smoke coming back in, and Friberg won't see jkaem, or will he? It seems he will, but what can he do about it? Going for a right-click grenade, and that will do considerable damage, but the man advantage remains with FaZe.
So it's FaZe with that man advantage, with that push into the ladder room there. That's quite cool, just embedding aizy into this forward position and rotating everyone back. And usually you would expect aizy to be in connector or something like that, not, you know, if the A player's coming in, but instead he's just waiting in ladder. Maybe that actually makes him much less useful. We'll have to see, because Xizt is there in the window. There is an additional player in jungle for NiP as they await this push. And in FaZe go. They really need to win this round if they want to crush NiP, and only on 3 players are the Swedes, so this will be a tough defense to mount. Friberg able to get the initial frag there onto the lurk in aizy. Another kill from NiP, but it is traded back here. The numbers still with the FaZe side as NiP try to get their way in there. The bomb still needs to be planted, and across kioShiMa goes. There is a trade though, leaving just Pits. What can Pit get done? Oh, they're lining up. Oh, this could be a disaster. Pit gets both kills and will secure the round. What on earth was happening there? FaZe clearly had no idea where Pit was standing, but that definitely felt like a bit of a misplay right there.
I mean, I feel that because they had no idea where he could be, they wanted to face connector, and if he wasn't there, then just planned for it. But he was there, and the second player, I think it was kioShiMa, switched back to the C4 or something, because he was the one supposed to get the trade kill. A bit unfortunate there for FaZe, but Pit with a big clutch for NiP.
FaZe have failed their last 4 bomb plant attempts. 3 of the 4 times the player's been killed while trying to plant it. Spray down for Get Right. It's going to be very nice indeed. aizy coming in from the back door. 2-man for him. Tech9 moving accuracy. Let's go. Now the bomb should get planted here. Rain going for the short plant where aizy's holding. The nade's coming in though. He's got 14 HP left. aizy looking the wrong way now. He could get taken down for free by these CTs. But first it'll be Rain. aizy will trade, but he will do no more. Good damage done, but I mean, we can see Pit's got 10k in the bank, so NiP at this point don't care.
Yeah, and what you say about FaZe failing to plant the bomb a number of rounds, there you see why NiP pushes through smokes for connector or for CT spawn, because if you don't do that, it's really easy for the CTs to spam you, to deny you the bomb plant. At times, FaZe was taking a long time, so they didn't have much utility left. They didn't have a lot of smokes left to cover the person planting the bomb, and this is probably a must-win round for FaZe in order to come back into this game, because they've not won a single round. No, after pistol, winning the first 3 rounds, they haven't won a single gun round.
All right, well, going back to the Astralis game yesterday, you saw... Never mind that. This round is moving far too fast. Rain gets taken down in Palace. Rain's been putting smokes towards Shadow and above Shadow, but this time he's going to get taken down very early. So the Lurker has been eliminated for FaZe. jkaem, though, is in a strong position towards Connector, and it seems that FaZe could be in a position to go for a bit of a B-split, but jkaem's asking questions of forcing the players back. You've got to be careful, guys. He moves closer to jungle because there are 2 CTs in position, and he'll take them both down. Friberg not quick enough on the trigger. This may change the approach here for FaZe. They've got many players in ladder room who will move into CPL now. I mean, they could keep somebody in ladder room and go for a B split through CT spawn, for example. Many things they could do here, but they're starting to spread out over towards A. Xizt is in the back in CT spawn, but he's only got 13 HP. And again, you have to wonder if the plant will be thwarted. Indeed it will. kioShiMa goes for the plant, gets taken down from short. That's 5 attempts now. FaZe just can't get the bomb down, it seems. Fox will trade though, but CT is still in control of the CTs. If they take Xizt down and they try to plant the bomb, he's got to get right in the same position as well, but the bomb is getting planted for shorts.
Yeah, pretty nice pre-fire there from Xizt, but it's not going to find its mark. Wow, great angle from jkaem. He's got the first frag on the healthy player. Surely there's no opportunity for Xizt here. It would be insane for him to pull this one off. Look at that plant there for short. Xizt has a hell of a job to do here, but maybe against the AWP if they have to make a mistake. But no, Fox will clean it up, and 13-13. I have to say quickly, it's very interesting how NiP have put 4 players deep on A at the start of the round. Like, it felt like they were predicting an A play quickly.
Well, because FaZe from time to time likes to run the execute where they only have 1 player to towards mid, faking mid control, and then 3 players just explode out of ramp, and 1 from A apps. Didn't happen this time around, and we saw more of the same. The only difference is FaZe this time around secures connector, clears that area of the map, manages to plant the bomb for it, and you see how immediately how much more difficult it is for NiP to get the retake.
Well, it's a tight spot now for FaZe. I'm not sure what the mining's like on NiP at the moment. Maybe we can have a quick look. It was a tight spot for everyone. Obviously, FaZe lost so many rounds in a row now, and this is the first one they've won. So whoever loses this round, basically, is going to be in a very bad position. And Pit, is his head exposed? It is. And again, it's a situation where there's just no support. There's nobody in connector holding down low, and he gets taken down for free. No response whatsoever. Forrest almost gets his face ripped off as well.
Yeah, I think through the wall, down to 50 straight away. And Friberg is on the bomb side. He does have a guy, Xizt, the guy. Well, Xizt able to get the kill, the refrag onto the slow position, but because Friberg died for free there, this just has to look in too many places. It's not an efficient setup anymore. And now it's kioShiMa able to lock down jungle. And again, those 4 positions Janko's talking about, so important. But Garrett's actually able to somehow crawl through the vent and pick up the kill onto kioShiMa. So some frags going the way of NiP, but ultimately this time around FaZe, with his initial picks, destabilized the defense too heavily. NiP couldn't recover.
And it seems like maybe NiP losing their cool slightly there, because they lose Pit, as you said, no cover for him there, no support from other players, but then they don't react. Okay, they were a bit stuck towards the A bomb site, couldn't move from their positions, but they were in a 4v5 and they just allowed FaZe to do whatever they wanted, and FaZe went for that 3-1-1 split towards the A bomb site, and really you could see that the problem with NiP's players had limited positions they could play from. It was a pretty straightforward round from FaZe, and good play from them to recover later on in the second half.
I do not think kioShiMa meant to do that. That might be a bit of a clue to Forrest if you heard him. But the pop flash is coming in, and Forrest is going to get blinded and punished once again. He can't go anywhere on the map without getting pop flash, it seems, at the moment. NiP on the eco, which is going to put FaZe on match point unless they can have a massive comeback. Now, Friberg sees that nobody is too close in apps, and he could have retrieved the gun, but aizy is holding down the angle from short. He's not going to allow Friberg to get anywhere near that AK. Now he gets taken down, he can focus on other things. Final 2 players over towards short, and they will get eliminated. FaZe only losing 1 player. Very difficult times. High pressure here for NiP.
Yeah, that was actually a very nicely played round by FaZe. I mean, small detail, but that pop flash makes the difference. And FaZe, they split well onto the B bomb site for their anti-eco. So pretty efficient overall, and that's good to see from FaZe, that little bit of the extra detail, a little bit of extra structure on the anti-ecos. Now it's the 15-13, and FaZe can close this. They've got the superior buy just ever so slightly on the utility, and of course, Garrett's on a mag 7 instead of a rifle. So not optimal here, and it looks like FaZe want to close this with just a simple A set piece, and aizy's there to harass in middle, but how much attention can aizy really get to distract from this A play? NiP playing very passively. They have no information right now.
And they have almost no nades either. They do have some kits. Got a player close in. Well, Forrest is in his usual position, really. But nobody's here to flash in aizy. We'll see if this makes a difference now. Forrest holding the angle, but Friberg will take him down from behind. Again, if you have somebody in ladder room or on those bricks, it does give a sneaky position, but a charge is coming in. That's going to kind of signal the warhorn here for FaZe. They're trying to move into the site. Man disadvantage, though. Maybe they've played this too simple. 3 versus 3.
Yeah, that's the good point. The 3 versus 3, they still have some of the kills that they need to get in. They're not trading. There is trading happening, so FaZe will be able to go into the bomb site. But this man here, kind of the shark, the predator lurking in the murky waters there. When will Get Right announce his arrival, he is restricted to the mag 7. That's the only real issue with this, that he can't be devastating from the long or mid ranges. And kioShiMa takes down. Oh, actually, there's an AWP there. Does he switch for that? kioShiMa with that frag does definitely alleviate some pressure, but Get Right's going to just pick off jkaem with the USP. Very good choice there. And now, well, Pitch is going to get the follow-up frag easily, it would seem, and that's going to be the round there for NiP. But FaZe should have a healthy buy going into their last attempt to close in normal time.
Funnily enough, there was no flash as whoever it was moved into connector because he was the only person mid, and Friberg was in ladder room. But if they did the normal flash, I think it would have flashed Friberg as well in that situation.
And now, of course, first time with the double op setup. this is going to overtime. Because we spend so much time talking about how ops are maybe not as viable on the CT side towards mid so much. Now they're probably going to win the round for overtime.
FaZe are a team that will be more of a more picky style, so perhaps it can work well.
Is Friberg going to flash for Xizt? He is. That is brilliant. I was just wondering, because it is quite rudimentary to do it yourself in that situation. I do like that, but Xizt is kind of stuck now, and they need the smoke to kind of rescue him. Finally making it away, while the FaZe guys are not peeking top mid, but kioShiMa will pick his moment and take him down. Good start here. Still another match point for FaZe.
Yeah, not getting that frag there on underpass. We can see that that might start to actually bite them in the backside as they lose a player due to that push. And now FaZe just trying to play out the connector control. jkaem, this is a very key fragging situation between jkaem and Friberg. jkaem's going to pull it off. Now, there's a lot of time left for FaZe to play this round out, and the pressure is really on NiP right now. They're down to 3 players. That's that awkward number. And the 2 of them are AWPs, and 2 players are towards the A bomb site. So if they have to retake into, if they have to retake with 2 AWPs into the B bomb site, that Gerrit has to kill at least 2 here. Okay, it does look like they have actually an idea. They're rotating already with the AWPs.
Yep, jkaem making a lot of noise and getting taken down. These AWPs are flying in now, and GetRight's in the second angle here under the window, the kind of off angle, which is harder to check, and this is not working out here for FaZe. But the last man standing is Fox, and there is no one standing anymore. FaZe have maybe missed their best opportunities here to take the second map.
Of course, the 2 ops get 4 kills.
Of course.
But I mean, this was actually a bit of a mistake from FaZe. 2 times in this round they had a man advantage. They had a 5v4 and a 4v3. First time around, Rain for some reason was still pushing towards A ramp, trying to surprise someone, but he gets killed by Forest. And the second time, I mean, it was they took just a bit too long towards the B bomb site, which caused NiP to rotate towards that area just in time. If they were only a bit faster, they would have only had GetRight there with the rifle. Probably would get the trade kills, but not to be.
Yeah, not to be. And the interesting thing going into an overtime is, generally, again, one of the reasons why it's important for FaZe to win pistol rounds is because, generally speaking, one of the NiP strengths is playing against the ecos and so on. Well, we're going into the overtime, and there should be no eco, as it was 10k MR3, so there's no eco unless you lose the first 2 rounds as the CTs. So that's that situation won't be so painful for FaZe, but you generally have to favor NiP. NiP in this series generally have felt the stronger team. The fact that they've lost 4 pistols kind of hamstrings you a little bit.
The fact that they've made it this far, losing all the pistols in the second game, is something in of itself. I think it might be a bit difficult here for FaZe on their T side though, because we've clearly seen some struggles there to allow NiP to catch up, and now they will continue on their T side in overtime before they get to their CT side. I think if it was the other way around, they would probably have a stronger chance of taking the map now in overtime. So I think NiP are looking good to take this to 3 maps.
Definitely. The problem for FaZe is that when we were talking about their win conditions, we said that they need to be able to keep pressure on NiP's economy, force them to have weak buys. Right now in overtime, both teams start with 10k, and there's only 3 rounds to be played. So this is where, in theory, NiP should have the upper hand over FaZe.
Well, overtime is about to begin between these 2 sides. So we will see what FaZe have to offer on the continuation on their T side, how they will differ things. I mean, now we may see some more normal setups. Obviously, they change things up again to try and take it. They change things up again towards the end of normal time to try and take things over the line. Didn't really work out, so maybe they'll go back to more standard approaches, defaults, and executes. It seems the first one will be straight over towards the A site with the entire team. There should be a bit of a gap for the AWPer to have a look in, but I doubt the CTs will serve themselves up. That said, NiP with aggression towards short. They've got a player in ladder room, and Pit was peeking around there with the AWP as well. So perhaps there will be a bit of a read that it's going to be an A push. We've got a timing HE coming in from Xizt. He's in an awkward spot on the A bomb site. We'll see if it works out for him.
Yeah, first frag for Xizt, but he'll get traded immediately by the AWP of Fox. He's got plenty of vision there, moving into the site. And the smokestay will get the plant down, but looks like pyth's going to pick somebody off, and that is an issue. Again, it's the same issue, that they don't have the strength. They have enough strength to get onto the bomb site, but not enough to get onto connector and jungle, and not enough to get onto CT spawn.
And they only have one HE left, which is now done.
Yeah, so Fox is going to have to kill everyone. That's the way that this can work. And here he goes, there's the first flick. He's going to get the first player, but NiP, they should create trading situations. The nades are good. Fox actually gets the second frag there, finally traded. And it could have worked out if Rain had picked up that frag. It could have worked out for FaZe, but the A set piece will be dismantled in the end by NiP.
That's why I dislike going for a play like this when the CTs have a strong economy, right? You spent all of your utility getting control of the bomb site. They're playing for the retake, get a couple of kills playing defensively, passively, and they have all of the grenades for the retake. So you're in a really tough situation unless some of your players steps up, or unless you go for an aggressive push through the smokes, as we talked about in the first half, and FaZe did neither and gets punished for it.
Well, we've got fast movements again into connector. They will trade at least with Forest. He will go down. More trades in a matter of seconds. We've got a 3 versus 2 here. War of attrition between these two sides. Rain's got a good opportunity to move into CT, and he will, but he's coming back to help his teammate because they are low on the numbers. That HE is going to be perfect here for NiP. And GetRight is biding his time in CT spawn at present. And as the clock continues to tick, FaZe will have to be paranoid about that position. They've got aizy in the corner of the site here, and Rain is picking his time to spot flash himself through, but Friberg will have the spray ready, and Rain will run straight into it. The clock is continuing to tick though. aizy needs to survive a little bit longer. Catches GetRight out, but pyth will take him down. And he hasn't got enough time. He didn't have enough health, but he has enough time, and there will be the defuse. Slowly and calmly, the words come out for James Bardolph.
That was close. I mean, both of the retakes were a bit close considering the time, but when you look at how the frags went, it seemed pretty easy. So it seems that NiP has a pretty good grasp of how much time they have to work with. Great play from Rain, got perfect timing, but unfortunately Friberg manages to find the kill fully blinded. And now FaZe still with a strong buy everyone except Fox, who because of that AWP now has only a Tech 9.
Yeah, that's the one merit of the set pieces, at least, is that in this overtime situation you do get 2 bombs down, so they don't have to, well,
look at this.
Have an awkward buy now.
They're covering each other properly now.
Look at this. Look at that.
Still not working at all.
Still wrecked, of course.
Well, Friberg again, he can jump onto the bricks here and cover people moving into connector like he did before, and still make it back into the ladder room. GetRight coming in for support as well, but he'll be taken down by kioShiMa. Trades though, with Fox getting eliminated. 3 versus 3, make that 2 for the CTs. pyth is searching again like he was before in the short position, but the players have since disappeared. aizy moving back to a passive position.
Yeah, it looks like round could maybe be won here by FaZe. They have the advantage, but the bomb needs to go down. That's really an issue here for kioShiMa, who's kind of out of position to get the plant immediately, and there's one obstacle Xizt in his way. This is the make or break, and pyth's going to pick off one from very long range for CT, and all of a sudden the bomb is lost. Now this is really problematic, and it's really interesting with two players left, that after losing the first player there, that kioShiMa decided to still commit towards the A side, despite having his only teammate being towards the B bomb site there. So that's a difficult call to make, perhaps because the AWP was towards shop. But still, it's a tough situation, and FaZe are going to lose all the rounds in their first half of overtime. So NiP very favourable to go to Dust 2 now.
Yeah, I think starting on a T side in overtime is worst case scenario for FaZe in this situation. I think if they can, say, get 2 or even 3 rounds on their CT side at the beginning, then they can get that one to just take it over the line, whereas now there's no room for error for the members of the FaZe, of the team known as FaZe, or whatever it says at the top at the end of the match.
Members of FaZe, CSGO, something like that.
Clan.
We'll
yeah,
see
they
it
say
in the
clan
end.
rather than team.
I don't know why it changes, though, from this.
Who knows the mysteries of GoTV?
Please, Valve, fix.
Please, Gaben, please.
So Fox will continue with the big green gun on the CT side. NiP, however, going for a Dignitas-esque 5 AK. Let's see where Rain is headed. He is going to go for the play over the smoke. Flash, but he'll retain his position. Friberg spots him though, and he will have to back off, losing half his HP. Nobody down for either side just yet.
That's such a hard jump to do consistently, but it's going to be a very fast cat take coming in from the NiP side. There is FaZe's Rain to try to stop this. He's able to take down the first player, but the Flames, they're going to take down both refraggers. That's a big deal. Get Right's the only man standing now for the NiP. A doable situation as he has the bomb, but a very hard one. He needs to get the frag on the surprise. Nice little snap there, but it's not going to be good enough this time around. FaZe keep themselves alive, but they need to win 2 more rounds consecutively to stop NiP from taking this map.
Pizza kebab.
That is probably the best thing about Swedish cuisine, James. Pizza kebab.
Or do they call it kebab pizza? I think they call it kebab
yeah,
pizza.
Kebab pizza, yeah.
Good stuff. Janko agrees. Now the AWP's coming out for NiP on the second round. aizy moving into the window though, but he's holding in a position for short rather than going for the early engagement. Again, we have seen just crazy wars of attrition. We've seen like 5 people lost in 2 seconds here. So a bit of a passive approach for FaZe, trying to slow down that volatility moving into the last round. Again, they need 3 from 3 here. Otherwise, we go to 3 maps.
So working that mid, slowly but surely, NiP just making sure they at least have that base of control to work from on the map. And ultimately, FaZe are being relatively passive this time around, not really going for too many hardcore challenges, and they're fairly spread apart as well, so they can't really flash for each other or trade for each other towards middle. So just more or less letting NiP have it and just keeping tabs on what's going on. But we get Friberg all the way up there to challenge. Or will he go back? Looks like he's actually going to go back now. So NiP cleared mid, but Xizt is with his presence, rather, into the underpass and back out to mid as Friberg goes back towards B. So it looks like they're going to go for the play in towards B at the moment as the bomb moves towards that position. So it's going to be a tough one for jkaem.
Yeah, he's holding a very unusual position compared to the normal ones. He's got Rain in for support, who again I think is in the second position under the window. Indeed, that one is less common and very powerful as well. So far, so good. Doing work here. And still jkaem on the side, who's changed his position once again. And he can just bide his time and stay alive while the rest of the team rotate. Bomb goes up, bomb goes down. 2 plays left here for the NiP side. One coming in from CT spawn, which may be a bit unexpected, but is no time anyway. So we are going to go to the last round of overtime.
Which, of course, means, James, we're going to go to double overtime.
Perhaps it does.
And then NiP is going to win.
NiP are lacking on the money here quite a bit. I mean, these timeouts are not helping. You need that loss bonus in overtime. And they might be lacking. Friberg's gone for a UMP so he can buy full grenades, which shows you the kind of team that NiP have become underneath threats to leadership here. We have a savage push here from FaZe. They're not going to allow NiP to get up to any funky shenanigans, but most of the players and the bomb are over towards B, so things are relatively safe here for NiP apart from Friberg in top mid. But now can these teams answer? Can they trade? It's almost a 2-man spray down for kioShiMa. 4 versus 3 very early on.
Yeah, the problem is that they couldn't work with Friberg there to split the attention of the CTs in 2 directions. So that staggered push is going to put FaZe in a pretty decisive advantage. jkaem, does he know Forrest is there? It kind of feels like he doesn't know that Forrest is in that position. He's even inspecting his gun. Maybe he has a clue. Okay, I've been proved completely wrong there. He's going to go straight for it. So he did know.
Forrest looks away as soon as jkaem comes around the most obscure of corners. That is tilting as hell. 2 versus 4 now, make it 3. jkaem, his work is done here for this overtime. Xizt is not doing very well on the HP here. And we might see Molotov come from the shop should it be required to stop the bomb from going down. So he's got to be very careful about his movements. We are indeed going to overtime 2. FaZe not phased by losing all the T rounds. They will take it to 18-18.
And they get to start on CT, so they have the momentum here. If you're somebody that believes in momentum that exists outside of economy, when it comes to, I guess, more of the emotional momentum, the confidence, psychological aspect, something that cannot be easily measured, then they have that, James.
Well, shall see. I'm curious to see if the hyper-explosive rounds will continue between these two sides that have had 3 people going down on one team in 1 second that we saw in the previous 36 rounds. Only time will tell. As overtime 2 begins between these two teams, Xizt and aizy top fragging for their respective teams. Rain just 1 frag behind aizy as well. Those 3 up there in the 30s. Everybody else on the server lagging a bit behind, but everyone's showing up, which is the important thing. So let's have a look at the AWP situation here. NiP resuming on the T side. Forest yet to buy. It seems he's not going to go for the big green gun. Just Fox in the first round. You can see MR3 10k. Fox left for $2,000 in the bank here, so things can get difficult if they don't go his way.
Yeah, but
I mean,
maybe...
of course, guys, you know that NiP wins the first round in the second overtime after losing 3 in a row in the previous one. That's just how it goes. Now we only have to see in which fashion are they going to win it.
Happened to Liquid at the major. So we've got FaZe here. Oh, the spray down the hose. Hose is out. But whose round will it be?
NiP is like, why are you even questioning this then? You know how the CS gods work. They work in mysterious ways, but some things are for sure.
Well, the bomb's been planted, that's for sure. aizy and Fox coming in to do what they can. Coming in from both from the same position, which has not been identified. NiP looking everywhere apart from the shop, in fact. That shop is quite empty, just a few cleaning sprays in there, which are not going to be very useful for these players. So Fox has an opportunity to get himself a 1 versus Xizt, but no, NiP will get the first round of the second overtime, a round which perhaps would have won them the map if it was in the previous overtime. But it's not.
Not perhaps, surely, James, because they only needed the 1 round.
The interesting thing here is that the money for FaZe now is getting absolutely wrecked. We paid attention to Fox in the previous round after the buy. Now he literally has $0.
But what was good from NiP here is that they changed the pace. Right? They went for a fast and aggressive push towards the B halls, and it caught FaZe off guard a little bit. They managed to get entrance into the bomb site, planted the bomb, and the 2v2 will always favor the T's in that situation.
Oh, jkaem, that is absolutely dirty, but the trade is not going to favour the CTs because there's a minute and a half here for NiP to move onto this site. Rain changing position once again, but he is getting flashed into high heaven. You can see again, and all those flashes and nades from NiP are buying time for the CTs to rotate. They're keeping 1 person in A just in case. Haven't seen the bombs just yet, but Rain is coming in huge. So is aizy and is Fox. Forest alone now versus 4. Needed to do more damage to the side. I don't think kioShiMa will be able to retrieve that AWP in time. Doing his best though.
I am going to throw a smoke in B apps and then just run through it. No one is going to expect that. And he gets a kill with it. Gets good info for his team, buys time for his team to rotate, and they manage to clean up afterwards. But really not sure about those pushes. I mean, jkaem does it a lot.
Yeah, I was about to say he's done it in this match, in this map quite a lot already.
But it's so risky. Maybe it's something that maybe he watched NiP and saw that they don't play from there. But there's some action.
that throw though. Boom.
Something's happening. Help.
Man advantage for the CTs. kioShiMa is surely going to fry. He is indeed. The smoke does not get there fast enough. The bomb is down though, and it's Forest versus 3 versus 2. I don't know if he sees Janko. That Molotov didn't go. Oh, he just got fully wrecked. That is disgusting. And let's just take a moment to acknowledge Janko's 0.3 seconds of play-by-play.
That was glorious.
Nice. It was. You had your moment in the sun, Janko, and you are quite heavily tanned now. So we'll take the reins back.
It considered inconsistent of just the throw, but I like the energy and the pace, the play.
That was legendary.
It's good. It's good.
So, a 1-round lead for FaZe going into the second half. But again, they are going onto their less favoured side. I think that is for sure, for certain. I think it's true. I don't think it's false. Xizt heading towards the 40 bomb, as is aizy and Rain. All right then. I wonder if we're going to see more action over towards the B bomb site. I like the positions under the window that the CTs, the respective CTs, have been respectively taking over there. I always have something to nerd about on particular maps, and today that is my nerd thing. My thing to observe.
Well, we got the typical cat smoke there, which people for pretty much every round. We saw this before from kioShiMa, the super fast timing. Oh, that is so violence there from FaZe. 2 immediate frags. That timing is super sick. This time it worked much better than the previous round. I mean, the previous time it looked pretty good. They still lost that round, but this time 5 players alive. jkaem with the 2 frags, kioShiMa with the 1.
Hashtag Mandem.
Hashtag change of pace. Paid off for both teams in their gun rounds on the T side. So much better than the set piece that FaZe went for in the first overtime. I think that this round is pretty much over at this point. pyth is probably going to save, which is the correct decision here.
He has to save. He must save this AWP. We saw the problems that Fox had in the first half after getting wrecked in the first round of the half after purchasing an AWP. So if pyth goes down, I mean, in fairness, he has more money than Fox did at the end, but he will survive as the song goes.
Ooh, auto sniper. Obviously, they know at this point they can't lose a round, so just do it. Just do it. Get the auto sniper in there. Who cares about nades? He doesn't need nades.
I like people who think that like buying an auto sniper is BM or something. That gun is just overpowered.
Yeah.
If used correctly, it's just insane how powerful it is, especially if the T's don't have an op.
Well, aizy is bunny hopping and he's standing in the smoke, so he will emerge like some hero from a book. What a great start here from NiP against match point, 2 match points no less. Almost stereo frags coming in for the CT side.
Yeah, they go for a really big play towards B, 2 players in the apps and then 1 in the underpass pushing. That's quite the play there, quite the ballsy play from NiP, and it does pay off massively. So now FaZe with 2 players and an aizy who is pretty much dead. Basically a stepping stool for jkaem is the most useful he can be at this point. And it's going to be tough to see how they can take this round. I wonder if you can do a run boost from that corner, just straight into that window area.
Get right, taking jkaem down, and this round is over. Are we going to see Janko a third overtime at this point?
Of course we are.
They're not going to lose a single player with 2 AWPs and an auto sniper in tow. 20 to 21 rounds. Let's have a look at the money for FaZe here. They've got plenty of money.
Yeah.
That's all I needed to know.
Yeah, they won a round early on, so...
Still, it's not going to be enough, James. Still, it's going to be another overtime, but... yes, it was a ballsy play from NiP, but it was probably coming from, you know, seeing how FaZe generally likes to play. That they have probably 1 or 2 people towards that B apps area at the most, if they're not going for a set strat, and I think that they figured that out. So that push really paid off for them as Fox gets the entry kill on Xizt. And this is where how you beat an auto sniper. If you know where he is, just send an opper there. Yeah. An op needs 1 shot to kill the auto sniper needs 2. The only problem is if the auto sniper holds an off angle, which is something that Pasha tends to do when he buys it.
And also that the CTs this time have 2 AWPs in addition to that auto sniper, so they got AWPs for days. So Fox, he's trying to pick, surely NiP should be at some kind of advantage. But their setup on the A side actually is fairly fragile, to be honest. If Forrest can't make good of his position,
why?
They're in trouble. And again, that's kind of what I thought would happen. Fox just goes for another entry attempt, and oh, that was sick from Forrest. And he is just looking for more at the moment. And they're so focused on killing Forrest that they completely miss Friberg. And
I thought he knifed him, but he actually no-scoped him real close. And we have another overtime. But tell me, Dan, why, after Fox gets the entry kill on Xizt, why does he dry peek stairs?
I don't know. I don't know why they're looking for another pick.
Why?
They just. I was thinking they just like.
They've
done about all our executes.
They had a lot of grenades still, right? Why not do what NiP tried to do against them, and they were in a 4v3? Smoke off connector, smoke off stairs, go together as a unit, have 1 player lurking in apps so he can trade if needed, and run out and try to plant the bomb for connector plus ramp, whatever.
Yeah, I mean that's just greedy because essentially they've done it. They've got the pick. Now you have a really good chance of taking the bomb site.
That's real fast. It can be a problem of players having tunnel vision, like Fox saying, I got this, I'm going to get him, I know where he is. There should be someone saying no because there's a better play than that. I don't care if we don't need that risk right now. There's a more optimal play to be played. And it was not played, and they got played.
Well,
boom.
We'll see who will be playing what in this particular round as it's overtime 3 now. And aizy's not going to expect Friberg coming close, but he can't finish aizy off. aizy's in trouble. Rain can't get in there in time to help him. And there won't be a trade from the FaZe team either. The FaZe clan, team Clan
Members
on a team.
of the team clan.
Members of the team clan. Just say it with confidence. It all makes sense. Get right over towards the bomb site. Got some movement from the other players of NiP, but it seems like Get Right wants to definitely get these nades in over to this site, which you have to wonder if their opponents will read that as maybe a sign of weakness over to that site, or if they're just trying to ruin the timing. Tries to punish it. It will be a gamble. All the remaining Mandem coming over towards B.
Get Right has a great angle, but he's going to fluff the initial shots there. So opportunity here as he's under a lot of pressure. Oh my goodness, they're all in the smoke for Get Right. He's going to get 2 kills there. And last one jumping into the flames, but before picked off in midair by Friberg. So, wow.
I mean, at this point, things start getting really weird, right? You played so many rounds on the T side, you were running out of ideas. And we could see that affecting FaZe in this particular round, kind of slow towards that B bomb site, and eventually they get punished for it. And now they're falling back to what worked, it seems, to the fast connector push. Wow, that's a sick flash.
Yeah, I would like to see them going more towards connector more often than the things we've seen recently. The Molotov coming in, but people getting caught with nades, and Friberg's going to get 1 kill with Xizt coming in for support as well, so we're down to the 3 versus 3. We're back to the attrition, back to the war, back to the madness, back to the collateral damage. There's 1 player on the site, and he's no more. Xizt goes down. Friberg to leave aizy alone versus 2. He has an idea of where 1 might be, and that pop flash might give him the indication as to where the other is, but can he get the bomb down fast enough?
So, a realistic possibility for aizy. Got the bomb down. He can likely get a 1 versus 1 here. There it is. He can't win it though, and that's going to be the round for NiP then. So they're going to take 2 off the bat. So doing better than FaZe in this third overtime. Can they keep the momentum going though? Can they keep all these rounds going? Because NiP, they're looking a little bit more confident against some of the faster plays, some of the pick-based plays. FaZe to be, you know, this is what you expect to happen in a prolonged series. You expect FaZe to make more mistakes against and NiP to make less mistakes, and therefore NiP to win. That's generally how you would expect these 2 teams to match up.
2-round lead. This is great for NiP. Auto sniper onto Xizt once more. aizy going for the CPL smoke, which he has done with good consistency so far. This is, I think, maybe the original way to do it on this particular version of Mirage. Let's not forget, original Mirage, which had lots more blue and high FPS.
And
it looks like crap.
And smoother edges.
And a lot of crates.
A lot of crate. Everything was a crate of a different size. So, FaZe in the middle really easily, like, NiP have completely given it up for them to just take it. But will they, you know, adapt their setup to that? Looks like no one's really able to take proper responsibility on connector because they have this presence on slope, but it's not going to feel for all that much here. The flash comes in, but great timing on Friberg. He gets the bomb as well. Rain's got to go and get that refrag or just collect the bomb and lock Friberg away somehow. But Friberg, he's pop flashing around the corner. That's a super smart play, and that buys so much time here. Look at his position. He's wrapped all the way around there. The smoke goes down just in the nick of time. It's really good. Oh, the play through the smoke with a flash. That's going to be the frag there from kioShiMa and Fox as well. So FaZe giving themselves a chance now into this third overtime. I actually felt like NiP was starting to roll over them, but they answer in this round.
FaZe were sandwiched, but they did not get turned into pastrami. The push into CT was key. Get Right, obviously he has to go for it. It's the last round of the first half. Smokes down, tries to isolate players. Gonna get wrecked though, just too many players. So FaZe get a desperate 1 round on the board here as we go into the 6th half of the overtimes so far.
Do you like Mirage, James?
I do like Mirage.
That's good.
Is that it?
Yeah, because we have a lot of Mirage. So.
Oh, we do, yeah. I like Mirage. I do like Mirage.
We have Mouse Balls versus Doom Test next, so there's likely going to be a Mirage there as well.
I hope there is. Why not?
I would presume that there would be a Mirage in that matchup.
Why not? We've seen a lot of open maps in the, well, recently. In the matches we've cast, more of the open maps, less of the slower maps.
I feel like we might get a cobblestone there as well. I have to see. That can go quite a few ways, I guess.
I think you probably still have memories of mouse sports on cobblestone at the Major Day.
Yeah, that was awful.
I think, was that the longest map in over?
Yeah, against Flipside.
The longest map on the major.
Anyway,
Anyway,
it was like, yeah, 6 overtimes
I
or something.
believe it is. So Fox with the 1-up. Again, a mirror of this half from the previous overtime. So some initial aggression, but we don't have that crazy war of attrition just yet. NiP with more passive positions. 2 men up top mid. We have seen some pushes from FaZe in previous rounds, so NiP are seemingly weary of them on this occasion.
It's going to be a tough ask. It would seem for either of these teams to close out Mirage at this point. Now you have a lot of utility on NiP still. It's early days after all, and they don't really have any mid control. And it's pretty easily taken away from FaZe. They're playing a passive opener in this round. So NiP do start to go for it. They're very delayed mid take. So that they're counting for any early round aggression. And it's just really slowing that pace all the way down on NiP. Which I wonder if this means we'll see a very fast round in the following round from them. But now FaZe start to feel the presence a little bit mid. So they've lost mid. And that said, Rain's going to get a pick off from short there. So it's just a really nice hold so far from FaZe. And NiP are actually starting to run out of time. And the bomb isn't really in position just yet. And it's going back towards B, but it's got a way to go.
30 seconds left, so they don't have much time to do it. Bear in mind, NiP coming into this half with a strong advantage. They need to make the best use of this round that they can. We've got jkaem in this sneaky position, but it is susceptible to flashbangs all over the site. And indeed, he'll be forced from his position. Forrest gets taken down. And look how far the bomb's gone. There are 12 seconds left for it to go down. And no one, not a single person has been taken down on the FaZe side. Bearing in mind the struggles we saw them have on their CT side in the previous overtime. They didn't lose a single man. That's perfect for them.
I wonder if we'll just see like that fast contact play now from NiP. Because that slow round was not...
Yes, please.
Yeah.
That's it. Moving on.
23 to 23, NiP with missed opportunities. And they will pick up the AWP onto GetRight, who I thought maybe are they playing a timing? I mean, maybe he is. He's trying to get over towards Palace as fast as humanly possible. And he gets into position, but with a lot of noise, and he'll get Molotov out of his angle. Meanwhile, Rain is getting taken down on shorts.
Just a casual spam through smoke.
As one does.
And gets a kill. Rain will not be pleased about that one.
No, he won't. And NiP have a really great position to play from, just chilling out a little bit and trying to see if there's a reaction from FaZe. Whether they're going to push somewhere to get info, or are they just going to split off 2-2? And if they split off 2-2, then either side is really fine, considering that there's still 5 players for NiP and they still have all the utility. So they have set pieces for both bomb sides. So it's whichever one they feel is weaker, I suppose.
It's got a smoke moving into connector, which allows NiP to move up short without being seen from A, which is always important for the B split here, which appears to be what the plan is. GetRight running distraction. He's going to be playing entries with the AWP on his own. That should be quite interesting. Goes for a... He knows his angles with the AWP. Nice little swipe there as well. GetRight, what is this?
This is brilliant.
You can't do this, GetRight. What are you doing, GetRight? There's 2 people left. NiP, 25 seconds, and they're going to move over towards the A site. This definitely wasn't the plan. But GetRight is a man of many, many talents, Dan. And apparently, he is an AWP to challenge the likes of Fox.
I almost feel like the first shot wasn't even to try and kill anyone. I think he's just trying to stay alive and maybe force someone to peek or something. That's kind of what the first shot almost felt like. I don't know.
We may never know.
Because obviously his job there is to try to sell the... delay rotation, basically.
I think he was going for a pre-aim and just fired.
Yeah, maybe that's...
Maybe just in case... Maybe just to bait people. Maybe just in case he feels he's not going to react fast enough because he's not normally an AWPer. Who knows? But either way, GetRight with... If they win this match based on an individual AWP entry play by GetRight as a fake which accidentally turns into an entire site clearance, I don't even know.
Now he thinks he's an AWPer, obviously, because of that round. Sticks with it.
Yeah, that is actually a really...
I got this, boys.
That's a great point.
I want to roll. I want to roll.
He's going to get wrecked, of course.
But he's holding passively with the bomb at present. Guess he was just covering T spawn, but now moves into mid with his comrades. No lurker towards A. What is the play here for NiP?
Well, this is one way to mix it up, I guess. Get right on the AWP.
Thanks, Janko.
be split, James.
Oh, aizy through the smoke. Well, able to look over the smoke, get a quick frag. He gets the second one as well. aizy's just wrecking them at this point, but the refrag does come in eventually, and the bomb is dropped in mid, and there's 40 seconds left. So this is actually a problem that they need to reclaim the bomb, then get their way over there. The grenades, the smokes have worn off. They almost have no grenades. This is incredibly awkward for NiP right now.
Yeah, they're not winning this round.
What does that mean, Janko?
That means that FaZe has great positions, whether NiP decides to go A or B from where they are right now.
Ooh, he sees a dome and he will smash it. The egg has been crushed. No toy soldiers for you.
Well, that could have been much worse for FaZe.
More overtime, please.
But we go to overtime number 4, as I think these teams now just want to play 60 rounds of Mirage.
Why not?
It's funny because
Get their practice in. NiP already secured their spot at the playoffs. They know that Mirage is probably going to be a map they're going to get challenged on a lot. So let's just keep rolling, boys. See what's working, what's not working. Get the practice in. As Rain is just below the 100 score mark, which is obviously the most important thing.
Indeed it is.
All right, well, at this point, we're probably going to see more weird stuff like Get Right picking up an AWP, because the players are at this point probably like, well, what do we have to do to actually win this game? Do I have to AWP now?
This is some Ivan Drago.
I don't think that's the answer, though,
no.
Dan. I don't think that's the answer.
I agree with you. That's ever the answer.
Obviously, the answer is Friberg should pick it up.
Just so you guys know, Dignitas and Mouse Sports is going to start on schedule, because we could be here all day.
Yeah, because we could go to Dust 2 still.
But we're going to continue.
Yes,
we're going to continue with this match for the time being. Eventually.
It's actually funny.
Maybe they need water. I need water.
I need food.
My mouth.
Yeah.
Please.
Feed me. Feed Janko. Feed the Janko.
Feed the Serbian.
Eventually, maybe we can try to set that
By
up.
the way, for those of you who are in the chat, we are going to give away. Oh, let's open the inventory. He's just loaded the bloody replays, hasn't he? So never mind. Well, you can load it for when it comes back. There is we're doing a giveaway for subscribers today, and we will show you what it is going to be once producer Mike is done messing with us here with these 10 years of replays. So I was going to do one subscriber giveaway. I think we're going to do 2 today instead. So I'll show you what we're going to do. I've been giving away some absolutely disgusting looking knives on Twitter recently. We've given away some horrible Bowery knives. We've given away some Bisons. So today we'll do 2 giveaways for subs. It's already running, by the way. I did mention it earlier, so you don't need to write anything in particular. Just chat, and then we'll pick some winners after this map, perhaps. Producer Mike, please stop talking in my ear. It's complete nonsense.
All right, so it's always super weird when you get to like overtimes of this length, because eventually there gets to this point where no one quite knows what works or what doesn't work anymore.
Of course, every time it has to be Mirage. I had a similar thing in the EU minor for Columbus in Bucharest with Dan DD and Pixelfire, who played
Perfectly timed straight back into the bar.
130 rounds of Mirage or something like that.
Wow.
And take into account, those teams are not as good as these teams. So
Well,
watching that was even more excruciating than witnessing
I
this.
can imagine that was quite amazing.
well, it's game time here. 24-24. Need a game sound back as well. There it is, marvelous. So we have the bomb moving over towards A quickly. Sorry, we couldn't show you. There wasn't enough time. But we'll talk about it a bit later on. We're going to get back into the game for now. Got 2 players moving in the underpass here. So NiP going for a pretty standard split of the A site. But there are 2 players for sure. You can see Rain getting boosted onto the bricks here. aizy, I don't know if his source of information was just moving away, paranoid of the smoke disappearing. But indeed, Rain spots some information. Xizt goes down. Spots Pit as well, but can't get the frag. He will stay alive though, and that's just as important. Down to 11 HP. And it seems that FaZe might have a read as to what's going on. aizy moving close now into the default spot on the A side. So it seems they have a read that the split's coming in, that he's smoking off connector to get into position.
Yeah, aizy has a fantastic position. He's going to catch the back of one player, so the perfect peak for aizy to try to capitalize upon, and he will, but the position of kioShiMa is also quite strong. They're able to get the trade frags quite easily as the NiP push has become staggered by that initial kill from aizy, and now it's just down to f0rest. He is on very low HP, so that's 17 points of health. You know, it's going to be challenging. He'll have to find headshots all the way if he wants to make this work instantly as well. His first shot accuracy needs to be on point, but he is dead, and FaZe will pick up the round. So it's going to be interesting to see if FaZe can keep this one going, and with no bomb plant for NiP, they're actually in danger after this buy potentially. If they don't get the bomb down here, that the money will really suck in the third round if they lose this one.
Small adjustment there from Rain, getting boosted up on that rock and managing to get the kill. Forces NiP's hand to move towards the A bomb site while they weren't completely ready for it, and FaZe again on point with the hold.
Well, that's a good start and a bad finish for kioShiMa. The trade and NiP are streaming onto the site now. Super fast plays from them. Got a smoke going down into CT. There's nobody in CT for the CTs. We've got 3 people around jungle and connector, and the 4th may end up in CT a bit later on, but there's still some time. FaZe have tons of grenades to come in with the retake here because of how fast the NiP play was. And they're stuck on the site. They don't have the best post-plant positions, but we have the flash coming in towards CT, and Fox is going to get wrecked by that. That is perfect play there by NiP.
Yeah, that's exactly what you need in this kind of situation. And aizy coming back in though, he gets taken down from Sandwich. Pit and Get Right taking lives, and NiP win the rounds. So it's answering straight back. And again, a very important situation to assure themselves that they can make sure that they have, you know, a strong situation into the last rounds of this first half of the 4th overtime. And now it's going to be FaZe in a bit of a predicament, able to squeeze out a strong buy regardless. Now let's see if they can make the last round of the first half here count. NiP looking to go for a mid-take here. And Fox is actually in position with the op as well. There's actually no smokes in mid right now. Very interesting. Holding off on using that utility immediately. And there it is. We've got jkaem looking for the pop flash and B-apps as well to get some information.
All right, 2 AWPs on the T side. This is curious. I mean, talk about a change of pace from rushing A to double AWP on the T side of Mirage. And this is, we've seen some like weird AWP stuff from NiP before. I think very recently indeed, which worked. So I'll just have to bear witness and see if they can make it happen in this round as well. Looking for all the entries, but FaZe refusing to give them up. Got close positions towards A from FaZe as well. And they must have an idea. It's so quiet, they must have a read that something's going on in mid. But I think we have Fox keeping an angle onto short from his position.
This should go away a base, but too small.
Well, Rain is trying to reposition. He's going to get taken down. jkaem's got 1, but he needs to do more. 2, that's a great start for him. He's got 11 bullets left, but he's going to get a flash straight in his face, taken down before he can do any more for his team. Fox missing the shot on the player exiting Palace. That's going to be a severe disadvantage now as all the FaZe players are stuck in the shop choke point, which will be watched by these players.
Yeah, hard entry to say the least, but there's actually nobody on the immediate right or left of this. So there is actually an entry, but you can see Get Right really working the position well, but the trade comes in. Actually, a solid opportunity. Now they're out of the window, but it's just down to aizy. Cannot get the frag onto f0rest, and that's going to be the round there for NiP. So they're going to get 2 in this first half of this 4th overtime. Don't look at all the numbers. I'm like, what's going on? It's so many overtimes.
So very quickly, between this map and whatever we do next, we're going to give away a Bowie knife and do a cobblestone opening for another subscriber. So get involved in the chat. No commands, just talk, and then you'll get your name on the list. And we'll sort it out in a bit. But before that, we will go into
more overtime. More
overtime, yes. Love a bit of overtime.
Can we get to 6?
Can we get anybody on a 50 bomb? That is the question.
Yeah, that surely has to happen. Who's the closest?
Rain, I think.
Rain.
He's on 46.
Come on, Rain.
Xizt was up there, but he's starting to lag behind now. Get Right's catching him up. But he's on the CT side now. Maybe the auto sniper comes out again later on. For now, it's going to be pyth with the AWP here on the short position. I mean, he's been doing that a lot this map, and he continues to do so. One would presume Fox has the AWP on his side. Rain had a reasonable spawn, but without the AWP, he's not going to go for that fast peek. You are susceptible to getting bodied by grenades there as well. Ooh, so we have a trade push coming in for the CTs, but there will be no trade whatsoever. Rain gets his knife out, and pyth will punish him for it. 3 versus 4 again. Fast frags coming in here, and pyth can do no more. He gets taken down in connector.
Wow. Big frags there from FaZe. It's hard. They'll be hard pressed to lose this round now. Forrest is in a position to create a round losing situation for them. Look how he's going to play very patiently. Gets the first frag. The second one isn't quick enough. Maybe Forrest could have done to step out a little bit more before getting the first frag there. Maybe he wasn't patient enough after all, but Getro finding himself a flank there. But the one-on-one won by jkaem. The one-on-ones in this round were very, very effective for FaZe. So NiP, they have an even scoreline now. FaZe in a good position.
They went for a play towards ramp to try and surprise FaZe, but it just didn't work out for them. And it was a high-risk, high-reward play. It didn't pay off, and FaZe got easy control of the bomb site and managed to win first round in the second half of the 4th overtime.
Very nicely observed. Who says your powers of observation continue to serve you well? I think it might be Darth Vader. I don't know. Anyway, 26 to 26.
Smart man, of course.
We have a FaZe with passive positions towards lower A and Palace for the time being. NiP have... I'm going to assume it's Friberg in ladder room. He has been playing there on the CT side, and we've seen great work from him moving onto those bricks in the bottom right corner, obscured by the gun. Again, that position does allow you to see players moving into connector itself, and you can see him trying to go there now, although his vision is obscured by the smoke. So aizy gets taken down by pyth. He's getting cheeky towards the chair position. pyth is on point now, and he could find Fox as well. There's finally an answer from the FaZe side, and now Fox might try to get his way into the B-bomb site. But again, Friberg still in ladder room. Fox taken by surprise there. 4 versus 2.
Yeah, you're never expecting Friberg to be there. I mean, jkaem does get the kill towards the connector area, but the problem is that he's down so low, and I mean, Rain has to live up to his name here. He's got to become a monster. He's got to become something else, go beast mode, if he wants to save this round here for FaZe, because pyth set them up so well right now. NiP looking good, and they know that, I think they must have spotted the bomb here towards this A bomb site. The rotation has begun. They're coming in at a very rapid pace from connector. They're going to get squeezed on top of, and I mean, it's going to be hard for them to answer. Great pop flash from Rain. He might just get the transfer there, but no, not quite. Getro secures it. jkaem in a 1 versus 2 now. He's got to find those heads with that AK. He cannot afford to take an engagement with 10 HP, and he's going to get shot down by Xizt, and the round will go to NiP. So FaZe faltering there because of the very unexpected play towards short from Friberg and pyth.
We're going to go down to the last round of overtime again, of course. So let's have a look. We've got loads of money on the FaZe side, and we're going to have a worse buy on NiP, but it's all about the frags. I'm sure there's a gun on the floor for Xizt to pick up. Will they have? Yes, they will. Okay, there's an AK in play as well. But there is a FAMAS onto Friberg, but they've got loads of grenades and 4 kits on the 5 players, so they're good for the most part. I like the peek from Fox, but he does not see the player who's at the bottom. Or pyth. He's going to see who. There it is. Fox is going to get the frag. Nice opening. 1:40 on the clock, and there's a man down for NiP already.
Yeah, quite a nice angle from Fox. Not vulnerable from the bottom of connector, and gets a very big advantage if the guy peeks from the upper area connector. That's a really nice angle from that perspective. And now it's going to be interesting for NiP. Do they take a risk? They're actually putting 2 people in window here, so it felt like they were ready to go hard on the trades there towards mid. But they will actually rotate those 2 players back immediately to B. So it feels like NiP making a bit of a gamble at the moment, because they don't really have the information to confirm the play. And then what play would there be to confirm at this point? FaZe don't really have a round built up until the last few seconds here, where they've started to move the bomb through T-spawn now with everybody towards slope. But there's no one in connector per se. You just have a guy sitting on the chair position waiting for somebody to come from catwalk on the rotation.
I think it's Friberg in CT spawn with the AWP. now that Pit's been taken down in a short position, and he's been tagged already, so he's been spotted. He's got Molotovs flying in as well, and he can't do anything for his team. 2 Molotovs and a HE will take Friberg down. It's a 5 versus 3. YK is face palming now, because we might be going to overtime 5.
4.
5. 5, Dad, 5. It's 5.
All right, well, perhaps there is hope. We've got Forrest coming in, and he's got Get Right as well as Xizt cycling around CT spawn to give him a hand, and he's just creating quite a distraction from the front. And these positions are not amazing here from the FaZe sides. I mean, look at this. They're so far back. They had all the time in the world to get 4 positions, but it doesn't matter. We go to another overtime, and well.
Hey, Janko, I heard you like water and hydration.
No,
and food.
I like good high-level Counter-Strike, James.
Let's have a quick look now in the
fed.
inventory while we have a slight bit of time, and let's inspect that Bowie knife. Let's have a look at one of these Bowie knives. We're going to give this away to one of our subscribers after this map ends. Maybe one of us will die before it ends. If one of us here dies before it ends, then I'll give away 2 Bowie knives. Unless it's me that dies, then it's up to Dan, and then who knows what's going to happen. But yeah, one of these will be available for subscribers after this, and we will also open a cobblestone case. Maybe we'll open a cobblestone. Let's do 1 actually. I was going to say 1 for every overtime, but there's just no time for that kind of nonsense. This is overtime 5, Dan. So we'll do the box, the knife, and I'm going to keep slapping my hand with my phone because it makes a nice noise. But I could also use a belt.
I wish I could use this grenade right now.
Well, back into this. What is that to say?
It's 27-27. Both teams have an AWP. Lots of nades have been bought. There's a minute 50 on the clock.
Anything else, Dan?
aizy throws the Molotov and a flashbang. Oh, we're getting an aggressive play from NiP here in middle, so it looks like they want to take the momentum immediately into their hands, but aizy, very nice defensive peeking, and he's going to be able to pick up the first frag, and Friberg can't get the refrag there, although kioShiMa and jkaem, they're going to get wrecked there, trying to go through underpass. NiP just continuing that aggressive display in mid, and that's 4 people dead.
It's 5 people dead, actually, because Forrest is also dead.
Well, on FaZe's team, it's 4 people dead.
That is correct, but it could be 5 if Rain dies as well. Maths
Sure.
with FACEIT.
I guess so.
All right, there's a minute on the clock here. The bomb's being collected by Rain. And down goes Friberg. So there's 1 person on the A site, actually, and there's nobody short, which is what Rain's paranoid about, getting shot in the back at the moment. But again, time he takes to do something gives the CTs time to get into position, and then he will be punished for it. He had a read on what they might be doing. Unfortunately, he did not expect the flank. So the first round of overtime number 5 goes to NiP.
Do you think this is where we die, James?
This was always going to be where we die, Dan. That was never a question.
Just casting the Counter-Strike.
But it always could be worse, Dan. You could be casting NA Counter-Strike and then die. At least now you get to cast your NiP.
Yeah, he has a point there.
Yeah.
Friberg top mid again. We're around the corner of this smoke, so NiP they're not going to do like an England football, like score 1 goal. All right, let's defend, boys. They're going to keep the aggression up and make sure they take it over the line here.
Wow.
Passive plays coming up from the T's top mid. Friberg will get traded, and that's important. What is going on? There are 5 people dead already. In this matter of a few seconds, we're going back to one of those war of attrition rounds here where you just can't keep up with the madness. The bomb is top mid at the moment, with jkaem moving through the smoke once again. This man likes to go through smokes. Xizt jumping onto the toll booth may take him down though. Fox gets eliminated on short. Now jkaem has serious problems in front and behind. The smoke will help him for the time being. The bomb though is in control of the CTs, but he finds Forrest in a 1 versus 1. So now it's just Get Right alone, and there's over a minute on the clock. jkaem has many places to play from, but look at Get Right. He's positioned himself over towards top mid / chair, and jkaem may never see this coming.
Yeah, this is pretty hard to predict. This is such a sick position. It's the GG position in this situation, and that's the 29-27 scoreline there in favor of NiP.
You say the GG position. Well, I guess position it, but I mean, there's no GG in this match, Dan. Overtime 5, the GGs are long gone.
No more GGs.
But if NiP does win this at some point, then we have a map 3.
Yeah. There's more to come. Well, we've got a fast play from. Ooh, ouch! Sit down, Mr. Forrest. That is brutal, but there is more brutality to come, and this time from the Swedes here. 2 players coming down around the connector area. Xizt lost on the site. kioShiMa battling for survival, but Friberg will take that one. The trades continue. Rain versus 2. It's the man you want as the last man, if you must have a last man. Avoids the flashbang. Knows where 1 is, but where is the second? Where is Pit? He knows Pit's a short player. Pit's in connector. But Rain doesn't know if it's safe to plant the bomb here. He doesn't know if Pit's over towards CT. He's looking for him. And as the clock continues to tick, there's more chance that Get Right can be there as well.
He can just wait for so long right now. And that's probably what he's going to be doing. He is just sitting here, and Get Right might just walk into his crosshair. He gets the shadow first as well, so easy frag for Rain. Rain is very smart in these situations, and we're starting to see, or have a reminder of that. And now again, he's got 55 seconds. Can just sit here.
That's the longest crab walk I've watched from someone else's perspective in my entire life. Get Right just crab walking through CT spawn. Well, Pit has a nice angle, which Rain must cross if he wants to plant the bomb here. That's what it comes down to. AK versus AK. Can somebody pop somebody else in the face? Rain not judging the angle, but he's coming for it. Oh, Pit's going to wreck him. 3 for 3. Is this the half?
I think this is the one, James.
You know what happens now? We were
We will
talking
kill
about
ourselves in a suicide pact.
we were talking about change of pace, and so now NiP is going to go for a fast strat, and they're going to just get wrecked.
54 kills on terrain. He's the only man to pass the 50 bombs so far.
But James,
But
Gatorade has 10 stars.
he's got a full. Wow, he's got double figures. It even looks weird.
Can it go
That's
to...
how important it is.
Friberg and kioShiMa have triple doubles.
Can it actually go to 3 digits? What happens then?
What?
The MVP starts.
I don't know that. I have not played a game of Counter-Strike where I would get to 100 stars. I have
We should play
problems
me
getting to 1 star, let alone
You know that would
100.
require at least. That would require you to. Just never mind. 3 game points here for NiP. We may have a third map yet.
Or maybe not.
These 2 maps have gone 3 hours so far, over 3 hours, and it's not even the second map's not even complete right now. So for us, this could be for the middle of the site, or if he starts moving forward, then it could be for CT. Again, we've got the fast aggression. Get Right is jumping all over the place, but not anywhere safe, and he's going to get taken down. Can NiP react to this quickly? There are 2 CTs on the A site, and kioShiMa, he's going to get smoked into oblivion. How does he even know where to go? He might have a sneaky spot on top of the barrels there. aizy coming into run distraction as well. We've got T's flying in, and they're all getting taken down. Still running into the minigun here. It's like Pearl Harbor.
That's so funny. And at this point, like the interesting thing when you get to like the endurance level of Counter-Strike is then it's who has more endurance. And because teams will start players will start losing focus, they'll start making more mistakes, they'll start missing more shots. So I don't know who's going to have more endurance, because I mean they've been playing for a long time now without a break. So maybe that will come into play a little bit. It's hard to have that peak level of focus.
Run boost? No.
Do it.
Friberg is just facing Pit, because if there's another push from the CTs, he will avoid the flashbangs, can do a 180, and try to mount a defense. However, there is no such push. NiP trying to hard counter a push with 3 of the Mandem top mid, or is it 4? I think there's 4 guys there. They're looking to outright win this war. Well, we'll see if they go for some mid aggression here, and it is working out for them so far. Again, they only need 1 more round to bring it to a third map.
Looks pretty good here, Janko. What do you think?
It does indeed look pretty good for NiP. They're a team who rarely gives up a 2-man advantage like this. And they're doing the right thing. They're going together, grouping up towards the A bomb side. They're probably going to have Xizt just fake towards B, or it seems he's lurking towards underpass. And NiP still has a lot of utility. And this is the difference between them and FaZe. Now they're going to use their utility to make it easier for them to close out the round. But Xizt has been spotted here and gets killed.
Or in
But
reaction to
kioShiMa is
this, in reaction to this. NiP are charging up the A slope now. Down goes kioShiMa though in a trade. He can't just get the one frag there because they are at such a disadvantage. Oh, GetRight's just creeping through the smoke, as is jkaem. And that's going to be that. We have finally come to a close here. 31 to 28. 59 rounds. 59 rounds between these two teams.
Wow. I don't know what life is like outside of the game, James. It's been too long. I've been in there too long.
Not very nice, Dan. Pretty much cloudy, depressing, a lot of rain. So better stay indoors.
All right.
Watch Counter-Strike.
All right. Well, so that was a really long match. That took a long time. There's a lot of overtimes. So I guess.
You can't even review a map with 59 rounds in it, Dan.
Yeah, I was going to say, any quick thoughts before we go to a break here? Because
my quick thought is, after the break, we will reveal the winners of the Bowie knife, the case, and we shall open the case.
But if you go back and look at round number 27, where FaZe had a...
No, stop! No, Janko, no. Dan, let's go to a break.
All right, guys, it's time to go to a break. We'll be back with map 3. It's going to be Dust 2 between FaZe and NiP. If you haven't had enough Counter-Strike, and we haven't, we'll see you for that.